the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dude holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, whatever it is you're doing. I thank you for listening to and watching Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me, Mr. FSP, doing what I do because I do it for you all day, every day. There's a lot going on in the world of sports. In particular, we're going to talk about the NFL Combine. What's going on with Willie McGinest? I had no idea until I looked it up. But it's not good. Not at all. Then we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. The money man. Is he going to get paid? Or is it going to be, oh, well, hasta la vista, baby. And of course, when my co-host or someone jumps on, we're going to talk about the NFL Combine. There were some crazy numbers for the defensive side of the ball Thursday, Friday. And today, we've got quarterbacks, receivers, and I believe running backs, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to talk about that stuff. And one quote in particular that kind of got me a little worried, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State quarterback. He says he doesn't want to go to Chicago. That's Justin's team. Loyalty, I get it. Friendship, I get it. It's also a business. So if that happens, business is business. But that's not the concerning statement. The concerning statement is this, and I got JT, who's about to jump on, and he's going to be finally having his banner up. Finally, he's going to have the master plan up. Something that was made, how many years ago, JT? Like, what, 7 years ago, something like that? But the comment, and I'm glad you jumped on when you did, the comment that has me worried about C.J. Stroud, he says he models his game after Michael Vick from playing in the pocket and Deshaun Watson. Two names, personally, I would not be putting together to describe me and the way I play in this current state. Why? Michael Vick was not accurate at all.
And make today the most wonderful time of the year.
Here we go. He's watching his, I don't know what he's watching, but he's always got never mind. Let me keep going. Because as soon as he does that, my dog starts to moan and cry. But the question or the statement that bothered me is that he compared himself to Michael Vick and Deshaun Watson. One, Watson's okay. He's good. He's not phenomenal. He's a very good player given top talent wide receiver, in my opinion. Two, Michael Vick, phenomenal athlete, not that great of a quarterback. His numbers don't bear it out. So that worries me. And we got this kid, Will Levis. But JT, tell me your thoughts on that comment from C.J. Stroud while I go get this dog who's crying about going to the garage.
I have no problem with it because the fact is that he's talking about his versatility in play, being a Michael Vick type and Deshaun Watson type. Maybe not the off-field issues, but we're talking about the his mobility in Michael Vick and somewhat in Deshaun Watson, and being able to put the ball where it needs to be. More Deshaun Watson than Michael Vick.
Well, the comment, I kind of paraphrased the comment, but he said specifically Michael Vick's accuracy is what he wants to mimic because his accuracy is underrated. That's what he said.
Well, let me put it this way. Michael Vick Atlanta compared to Michael Vick in Philly, different Michael Vick, a more accurate Michael Vick in Philly than he was in Atlanta. That's in my opinion, but Michael Vick seemed like he was more attuned to what a quarterback play should be versus when he was a joystick in Atlanta.
So we can attribute that to Andy Reid, maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'll say it again. A young kid, in my opinion, coming out getting asked questions at the combine by the media as to who he would compare his game to, I wouldn't use those two. Just me.
Why? Because of the off-field issues?
No,
Because
I just said one, Michael Vick was not accurate. Now you get him in the center of the field to the tight ends and shallow routes or throwing a deep ball, okay. But if you get him in a timing pattern or you have him do something that's a touch pass of some sort, not to get okay, I'll put it this way. And you made a good point that I didn't think about. Michael Vick in Philly was different from Michael Vick in Atlanta. Michael Vick in Philly was post-prison, new look on life, appreciating things more. Michael Vick in Atlanta, when they canceled his Michael Vick versus from Nike, was I'm going to run around, I'm going to make big plays, I'm going to throw the ball hard. Roddy White was, in my opinion, considered a bust with Michael Vick. Roddy White with Matt Ryan was an all-out beast.
well, let me just ask you this.
Okay.
Roddy White with Michael Vick versus Roddy White, an older Roddy White with Matt Ryan. Makes a difference, more experience.
I would say, okay, that's a fair comparison, but I would say when the ball's not even getting to you, or if it's behind you, or you're trying to make the catch and not get blown up, versus being kind of protected, because you can never be protected really as a receiver from the quarterback, but the quarterback can protect you in a way that you're not going to take such a big shot or put it over here, put it down there, or whatever, or expose your rib cage. That's the difference I saw between the two quarterbacks. And I get the age and experience. I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
But I would say placement, ball placement was a huge difference between them. Michael Vick's ball placement in Philly was not that much better. It was better, but not that much. He was very good at the deep ball. Deshaun Jackson and company were celebrated for that. He finally found a deep ball that was catchable, not just I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can and you just run under it. He actually put a little touch on the deep ball. So, but that's me, CJ Stroud. I wouldn't have done that. And I believe he's going to run. He's going to do some other things today. But I want to talk about these crazy numbers that we saw at the combine from defensive linemen and linebackers and DBs. A 4.39 from a defensive end. Official 4.39 from this kid out of Georgia.
Yep.
270 something pounds, running a 4.39 JT. What they put in the Similac nowadays? Because that is crazy. And he was mad when it was a 4.1 or whatever, but officially it was a 4. I mean, not 4.1, 4.41, but officially it was a 4.39. What do we witness? Because today the receivers are supposed to run. And if you're telling me this kid is faster, I'm going to say half of the receivers here, there is a problem. He probably does not need – well, if he plays DN in the pros, which he's been playing since he was in Georgia, he's going to be a speed rush problem. Talk to me. And then we're going to talk about the kid from Pittsburgh.
Man, when I saw that, I didn't actually watch it, but I saw it after the fact and like, what? 4.39, 270? I'm trying to think. Golston, who was drafted by the Jets at one point, a lineman. He had outstanding combine numbers. I mean, it's in sneakers and shorts, man. So, okay.
I get it, but geez.
Okay, 4.39. I you can't deny that. Let me put it this way: even if you put pads on and as in cleats, you're still looking at a 4.4.
And there was a highlight showing him running down C.J. Stroud from behind.
Yeah,
coming across the field to come get him.
Yeah. So let me put it this way.
Speed.
I don't know, and I'm not sure, and I can't remember his name. I know he's from Georgia, and they grow defensive players. Like they've been growing defensive players like crazy for the last few years in Georgia. This kid, I don't know if he's going to go top 5, but whoever gets this kid is going to get a piece of gold. Let me put it that way.
Most assuredly.
My God. He gets lost. He's probably going to get lost in the sauce, but because of the so-called big names are going to go either 1, 2, and plus quarterbacks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He may get lucky. They may get lucky and he may be in the top 10. And if he goes in the top 10, it's well deserved. If he doesn't go in the top 10, somebody stole him. Let me put it that way. So, in my opinion, somebody stole him.
I agree. I'm gonna give you a little professional advice, just a little professional advice. You really can't do much about your hair and all that other stuff, but the gray that you have on is making you blend in with your background. And you got the gray hair or whatever, but
okay,
just giving you some professional advice. Might want to wear your black or your orange or whatever. Just give me some advice. But yeah, this kid he's not that dominant, so to speak. But the big news was Carter, the supposed best athlete in the draft, the day before he's supposed to perform, a bench warrant. Leaves Indy. Gets locked up. Not locked up, but
he gets locked up. He gets locked up. He had to post bail. He gets locked up.
Okay. And then he comes back, and then he doesn't address the media and stuff like that. He doesn't work out, but I guarantee you he was asked some questions by some teams. Now, I get it. They're misdemeanors, right? But it goes to his judgment, drinking and driving, and drag racing.
Well, let me
in a situation that caused the death of one person and serious injury to another. Now, he wasn't in the same car. It was 2 different cars, but he was a participant.
Which caused the death of someone.
Say again?
Did it not? If I'm not mistaken, didn't? If I read, someone died in this incident.
Yes, in another car. Yes, the car that hit the pole. So,
You know, when are these kids or young men or whatever going to learn, man? Every year, and it's without a doubt, it's just like written in stone that someone does something stupid, either before or after the combine. It is like written in stone that no matter what you say, no matter how you say it to these young men, they don't get it. They don't get it. And you're talking about millions of dollars that doesn't come just because you wanted to. It's millions of dollars that you're jeopardizing. I don't get it.
well,
It doesn't make any sense to me.
so you know what was brought up to me about that? We look at Henry Ruggs, made it to the NFL, got a Lamborghini out early in the morning, speeding, crashes into somebody and kills them. Gets arrested, immediately cut, loses all of his money. This guy wasn't even in the NFL yet.
But that's what I'm saying. It's costing them millions of dollars, whether they're in the NFL or whether they're out. And they do dumb stuff that costs them millions of dollars.
I know, JT. I know. I wish Dan was here because Dan is a defensive line guy, an offensive line guy, and he can talk about the people that we witnessed. But Carter, here's my question to you: is how far do you think Carter's going to fall?
Ooh. Man, he could fall. He could fall out of the first round. He could fall out of the first round.
Really?
Sure, he could fall out of the first round. You have to think about this. He was involved in an incident that caused the death, regardless if he was the car that caused that death. He was involved in an incident that caused a death. People hear that. That's a big red flag.
Okay. So I'm going to pose two things to you, and I want you to think about this, okay?
Yeah.
The first thing, don't answer it right away. If he does not get an adjudication of some sort before the draft, does he get drafted? Second part of that is this worse than what happened with LeGarrette Blount, where LeGarrette Blount didn't get drafted at all?
Well, let me put it this way. LeGarrette Blount had an extremely bad attitude. Extremely bad attitude.
Okay.
And that contributed to not getting drafted because that was a huge red flag. This kid, I don't know what his attitude is. I don't know what his demeanor is or his character is. But he was involved in an incident that caused a death, even though he was not the vehicle.
No, I get that. I get that. But
People
is that
people
Go
hear
ahead.
that and they just shy away from this kid. So, like I said, whoever drafts him, if they draft him in the first round, he's going to hear it. You know the press is going to jump on the team that grabbed him. For the simple fact is, you're rewarding this kid and draft him in the first round, and he was part of this incident that caused the death. That's big headline news, man.
Again, okay, but that's why I was asking the question. If he gets it cleared up, is he drafted? If he doesn't get it cleared up, Does he not get drafted? That's what I'm asking.
Short term, that's gonna affect him. The media is all over that.
Okay.
All over that. All over it. Only reason he made it to the freaking combine is because he posted bail. He posted bail. He got locked up, but he posted bail. You can make faces, but he got locked up.
No, I get it, Jerry, but what I'm asking you, I want you to tell me, is this kid draftable if he gets everything adjudicated by the draft, or is he draftable or going to get drafted
He's
if
going to
it
get drafted.
isn't adjudicated?
He's going to get drafted.
So you're saying regardless he's getting drafted.
Well, let me put it this way. The NFL and their security team is going to look deeply into this and see if what's is going to weigh the pros and cons of drafting drafting him if he doesn't get adjudicated. Teams are going to do their due diligence. At least they should do their due diligence to find out if this kid is going to suffer the consequences going forward, or is this going to, I wouldn't say, in all for all intents purposes, for lack of any better words, get pushed under the rug.
Well, let's think about it this way. He played in the national championship game. This thing happened in January.
Okay.
So Smart and the rest of those guys in Georgia let him play.
It's not a good look. Let me put it that way. It's not a good look.
Okay.
I mean, he was involved in it, man. I mean, he was the other car. Okay, not the one that caused the problem or death of a.
Well, I mean, his car didn't cause the death. It was the fact that he was drag racing, and they were drunk. Both parties were drunk, drag racing. So the other party, who was in the other vehicle, they were inebriated too.
Okay. My point is this. The only ones that know what happened, or the only ones that know what happened, and I hate to say it like this, is the person who passed away, the person who drove that car in the vehicle that the person who passed away was in, and Jalen Carter in the other vehicle. You don't know what caused that guy to run into a pole. You follow me?
This is true.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I think he'll get drafted.
Okay.
But, and this is a big but.
Yes.
It has to get adjudicated. Something has to happen.
That's what I was saying.
You asked me the question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm answering.
That's why I'm waiting and listening.
But it's got to be history. It's got to be past history. Let me put it that way. It can't be, I still have this going on, but I'm still going to get drafted. That ain't going to happen because the fact is they got too much money riding. Draft this kid, and then all of a sudden he gets some type of issue or some type of sentence because of what he did prior to getting drafted. I don't think that's a good fit. I don't think that's a smart move by any team. So if this is taken care of before the draft, and to what degree is it taken care of, makes a big difference in whether he gets drafted or not. If it gets put past him and he gets a light sentence or whatever, or a fine or whatever, then I think he gets drafted. If he gets some jail time, then he ain't getting drafted. He's not getting drafted.
Okay. So, and we just had the first wide receiver run, and he ran slow 4.5. The defensive end ran faster than him. And the defensive tackle, the dude from Pitt, University of Pitt, a defensive lineman, not an end, ran a 4.4. And the first wide receiver runs a 4.5. Oh my goodness. I don't know. And this receiver just ran a 4.7. Woo!
I'm a little behind you.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. I'll update you.
A 4.7.
I will update you.
You know
Anyway.
what? You know what he looks like to me? That 4.7 wide receiver.
What?
Tight end. Tight end. Not a wide receiver. Tight end.
Well, he was like 6 something, so maybe.
6'2", 198. Brownlee should run pretty quick.
Hey, Jason Brownlee just ran a 4.6, but the fastest receiver right now is a 4.5.
Oh,
yes,
God.
Jason Brownlee just ran a 4.6.
Let me put it this way. The DBs are rubbing their hands together.
Hey, they better. Because these receivers, bro, man.
The DBs are rubbing their hands together.
Bro.
Earlier, I saw Sauce Gardner on with some DBs. And
Yeah, from yesterday.
Yeah. And tomorrow, later on today, when we get off this show, I'm headed back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
So I'm gonna send you some money so you can make some choice selections for me.
No. I'm going to the casino.
Exactly.
Treat my wife.
Again.
I'm chilling out. And tomorrow is my day. Tomorrow on the master plan, we're going to be talking about the rankings, and I'm specifically going to be talking about running backs. And ironically, running backs are one of the positions that are going to be showcased along with the offensive linemen. If I do believe. So I'm looking
tomorrow's
tomorrow running backs and offensive linemen.
Yes,
and I'm looking forward to that. Because
I bet you are.
If
anybody wants to jump on here that's watching this, you can easily pop a message in the chat where you're watching it from and just say, hey, I want to come on, and shoot me a private message with your email address, and I'll bring you on. We're going to talk it up. We're going to talk about it. Speaking of people that's going to do some time.
Jalen Moreno Cooper.
Yes.
4-4. That's more like it.
Yes.
Wide receiver.
But speaking of people that's going to do time. Now, Darius Davis here from TCU is supposed to be a speed burner. So he got out the blocks quick. Woo! 4.37. 4.37.
Thanks a lot, man.
Darius Davis, 4.37. That looked more like a 4.34 to me, but a 4.37. Woo! Just imagine the defensive end that ran a very similar time. That is crazy.
Yeah, but this guy's what, 5'8"?
This dude 5'11".
5'11"?
He was 5'11". This dude from Tank Dell from Houston is 5'8", 165. And that's the crazy thing that we're talking about. And my mother's calling me right now, right in the middle of the show. I'm not answering it. I love you, Mama, but I ain't answering it. So anyway, I want to talk about somebody else that's going to have to do some time. Did you know Willie McGinest was suspended from the NFL Network?
Yes, I didn't know that. But and I don't know how solid the story was about him being.
I'm going to tell you. So apparently, allegedly, I have to say allegedly, even though it's on film, a nightclub in LA, Willie and a couple of his boys, I guess, were getting heckled or whatever by somebody. Willie and his friends went over to the individual. The individual was sitting down. Willie and his boys were standing up. Words got exchanged, and next thing you know, Willie's throwing hands at him. Then, allegedly, it's on video, before it's over with, because his boys are holding dude's hands or arms. Before it's over with, Willie takes a bottle of champagne or something and repeatedly hits the dude upside the head with it.
What?
So Willie has been charged with 2 counts of felony assault and felony assault with the intent to do bodily harm and something else. So TMZ had the video and showed it. So Willie got arrested. Apparently, he was promptly suspended from NFL Network. I was wondering why I didn't see Willie on TV for a little bit.
Right.
But this happened back in December, and it looks like 4 years per charge. Per charge.
Why did we choose that flag?
Now, Willie has a history of being a good guy on TV, but
We trusted me.
he was accused of assault early on in his career, I believe in college, and then
It was a hothead.
and then there was a sexual assault charge shortly before he retired, and now this. Willie, my man, I'm thinking about Darren Sharper, another great face that was on the NFL Network that was great, but he started doing bad things. He's going to transition to NBA basketball in a second. But Darren Sharper was roofing women, he and his buddy, doing what they wanted with the women, and the women would wake up or, recover and wouldn't know why their panties were off or how they did this, that, and the third. And I believe he got a lot of time. A lot of time.
You know, this past week, Alvin Kamara.
I'm getting to him too.
Okay.
I'm getting to him too. He pled not guilty.
Yep.
Alvin Kamara.
And they got it on film and
they
audio.
got it on film. Yes.
In audio.
Yes. That leads me to, because I want to get your thoughts on those situations, but that leads me to John Morant. John Morant yesterday on Instagram Live is holding a weapon by his face with his diamond grill and his gold necklaces, going live, just talking about how bad he is and stuff like that. But there's also an investigation into John Morant about he being in a vehicle and his buddies driving down the street after home and pointing a weapon with a laser sight on someone. I believe it was one of the attendants at the stadium. What is wrong with these people that have so much money?
That's what I said earlier.
Privilege and prestige that they put their livelihood and an image, a very negative image of young black men.
Hey, that's what I was talking about earlier, man. You guys I don't get it. I don't get it. They put millions of dollars on the line for what? For what? Are you kidding me? You think
I don't know.
you think you're impervious to any kind of prosecution of any kind? You think you're a Teflon Don or something that nothing's going to happen to you?
They believe money can buy them out of their situations.
It don't happen that way. I don't care how good you are. You do something foul, like anything foul, in the light of society, and all that fame ain't going to do you any good. You going to jail.
Now, here's the thing about Ja,
Oh,
and we
he-
get to Alvin in a second. Here's the
I'm
thing about Ja.
I'm not a fan of him. He's too cocky, and he was he had everything handed to him.
I got it.
He didn't lead a rough life,
Daddy looked like Usher.
huh?
Daddy looks like Usher.
Yes, he was. He went to. I think we went to
Prep schools.
Prep school, exactly. So, I mean, is he a spoiled kid thinking that whatever he does, no matter what he does, is going to? It's all about him. Let me put it that way. It's all about him because he's got a special skill set in basketball that anything he does is going to say, okay, all right, you're all right. Ha, 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 ha. You're a young kid. You don't know any better. Come on, man. There's a certain time, there's a certain place that you have to realize you can't do those things. And history tells us, I mean, you got decades of history of players in whatever sport they play professionally doing really treacherous things and getting penalized for it, going to jail or getting sued big time.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, so here's the thing. In Ja's case, which is different than Alvin, because Alvin's on tape kicking and participating in the event. But I don't know if Ja understands the penalty, even if he was in the car that brandished a weapon.
He's part of it.
Exactly. So it might have been him that did it, but one of his boys takes the rap for it, but he's still going to catch part of that because he's in the vehicle. Now, it doesn't help that he's on Instagram Live brandishing a weapon and like, it doesn't help because I don't know if people that look at this show or follow us, I know a lot of them do. Are they following the whole rap lyric thing, putting these dudes in jail from Atlanta? How the district attorney of Atlanta pieced together a case on two big rappers, famous rappers, based on their lyrics. So these guys using Ja, using Alvin, using Willie, being on tape, doing foolish things, they can easily use that as evidence to show that they are capable of doing what they're accused of. All you got to do as a prosecuting attorney, if you don't have the evidence to say that this person actually did it, is prove that they're capable of doing it. Just like this current murder case of this lawyer in North Carolina, who first said, I never was around my wife and my son before they died, and I wasn't in this place. But on the stand, when he took the stand, he admitted, well, yeah, I was around him. All the prosecution has to say is, well, if he lied about this for so long, and now he's on the stand saying he did it, he was in this area, who's to say that he didn't do it? He said he hasn't done it this long. That's what I'm getting to about these cats. Alvin Kamara, you're at the Pro Bowl in Vegas, literally about to go participate in one of the events. Now, guess what happens? If I'm a prosecuting attorney, I'm going to talk to the people that was around him during the Pro Bowl event. What was his demeanor like? Where's the outfit that he had on when he participated in the Pro Bowl? Because he didn't change clothes. And this young kid, Carter, out of Georgia, a top 2 or 3 first-round draft pick.
Yep.
Possibly, at worst, not getting drafted. At best, dropping down or out of the first round. And that's millions and millions of dollars that you've worked so hard to potentially earn from the time you decide to play football and make it your career choice. Joey Porter Jr. was asked a question. He was asked, what did your father do? Because, you know, Joey Porter, the former linebacker for Pittsburgh Steelers, notoriously angry at everybody, told him, remember, this is a business at the end of the day. You might like playing football, but it's a business at the end of the day, and they will always let you know that. So I'm not saying these kids don't understand it's a business, but they have to understand that they are a brand. They are a company. And if your company is doing shady business, the law or someone else will find a way to make sure you no longer have a business. Bottom line up front, I don't know if you got your TV volume up or not, but I can hear it. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Can you turn that down a little bit? Just a little bit.
Hold on.
No, Jerry. I thought it was his TV. My bad. I didn't know it was the wife. If I knew it was the wife, I'd have been like, okay, well, you know, I can live with it. But I thought Jerry was just being Jerry. He wasn't. Anyway, I will tell you that I didn't know it was your wife or your sister. I thought it was you. I could have worked through it if it was just, if it was them, but I thought it was you. My bad. But thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's talk, JT. What did you see of the combine? Or what have you seen of the combine?
I saw some very athletic linebackers. Smith being one of them, who ran a 4.2 or 4.3. I'm trying to think of what the linebacker was. I think he was out of Georgia.
That's one we already talked about. I'm talking about, what about the kid from Pitt, University of Pitt? The defensive lineman, interior lineman that ran he ran like a 4.4 or 4.5.
Well, there's some very athletic defensive players coming out, and it looks like up until this point, the offensive players can't match him.
Speed-wise, because I'm looking at these top. Now, there have been some faster receiver times, but when you have a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman, having a similar speed as you
Or faster.
or faster?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the fastest quarterback was TCU's quarterback, Duggan, who is 6'7". Now I get it, all the quarterbacks didn't run, but Malik Cunningham from Louisville, I thought he was going to be faster. He was slower than Duggan. Listen, I think, this is me, I think a lot of tight ends and offensive weapons got shifted to the defensive side of the ball, and speed is killing on that side of the ball now. You know, we say speed kills, but it don't like the offense has a lot of speed in this draft.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said.
Okay.
That's what I literally just said that.
Okay. I'm just re-emphasizing it. Can I do that?
Okay.
Thank you. I was hoping to re-emphasize. Anyway, my thought process is this. I look at you said you watched Sauce Gardner talk about the defensive backs yesterday, right? So I take it you were looking at it early this morning. For me, that was like 3 o'clock in the morning. For you, that was 7 o'clock in the morning. Because they replayed it. I really love this kid, the range of this kid from Oregon. I believe his last name is Gonzalez or Martinez, something like that.
41.5 inch vertical.
Yep, vertical. Very good speed time, 40 time. I think it was like a 4.4,
right?
Something like that.
4.44.
He's 6'2".
He's 6'2" and had a
hell of a wingspan.
Broad jump of 11.1.
Now I know that the kid from Illinois has gotten all the hype because he's played great collegiately. But my man from Oregon didn't have a bad year either. And he played against more teams that threw the ball than ran the ball. Pac-12 versus Big Ten.
And that kid Gonzalez has two twin sisters that are in the Colombian track team.
Yeah, Olympic teams. Yeah. Yeah. So that athletic family. I mean, got it. Yeah. But oh my God, I think this kid just made himself the second overall cornerback taken.
That's a strong possibility. I think defense, for the most part, is going to rule in the first round.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Outside of the quarterbacks, especially based upon these damn wide receiver run times.
Yeah.
Dude, I see linemen, I see linebackers, and these quarterbacks that need to come. But outside of that, bro, this is a straight. I'll be surprised if more than 2/3. I would be surprised if less than 2/3 of the first round were defensive players. Do you think your guy from Texas gets drafted in the first round?
No, he doesn't get drafted in the first round. But I'm going to talk about some gems of running backs.
Well, save it for tomorrow.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm in high anticipation of seeing some of these running backs run faster than these wide receivers.
Well, I think so. Especially the kid from oh my gosh, from Florida. Is it Florida A&M? I think it's the kid from Florida A&M who's got jets. And I think he was invited.
This is
Either way, let's get back to this Darius Davis kid from TCU. He ran another 4.37. Money.
It's who you are.
And he can catch. But he's a slot guy. So I don't know how many people are going to draft.
Well, let me tell you this. Slot guys are very relevant in fantasy football.
Oh, I get it.
Slot guys are very relevant in fantasy football.
I got it. They're very relevant in fantasy, but first I got to get drafted in reality.
Well, you run a 4.37, you getting drafted.
I know you get drafted.
You getting drafted.
But the question is he a first-round draft pick? He has good hands. He's not that tall, but he's got blazing speed.
What do you mean he's not that tall? Is he over 6 feet?
I think it was like 5'10".
Ooh.
5'10", 5'11".
Well, he's got to be like a Tyreek Hill. He's got to be like a Tyreek Hill.
Just look up Darius Davis's height. Just look up his measurables. That'll tell you. I believe it was 5'10", 5'11". But it's okay. So we're talking about an opportunity here for these young men to make a lot of money.
5'10".
5'10", yeah, I thought so. About 5'10". About what, 165, 180? Something like that? I know he was light. He's not a big bulky guy.
More like 5'6". I mean 160, 165, 170.
Yeah, so he's light. He's light. Again, is he a first rounder?
No.
Exactly. Even though he ran that 4.3, he's light, man. He's got to put some bulk on. And when he puts that bulk on, he's not going to be 4.3. He'll probably be 4.4, 4.5, depending on how much muscle he puts on and where he puts it on at. But
you got to be able to run a route right.
Oh, yeah. He will be. He will be. But that brings me up to all these guys looking to make money in this combine. Lamar Jackson. He's going to get tagged, JT. He's going to get tagged. Which tag are they going to give him? The exclusive rights tag or the regular tag? And once you tell me which one you think it is, tell me why, and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
They don't want to lose him. He's too well liked in the locker room. He's too well liked by his head coach. I don't know how much that the head coach and the general manager are in sync mentally with each other about Lamar Jackson. But the head coach loves Lamar Jackson, so he says, and his fellow teammates are pushing for Lamar Jackson to get paid. What I'm thinking is going to happen is they're going to get the exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson that nobody can talk to him except the Ravens, and then it's going to be a Mexican standoff on when or if he ever signs it.
Okay. I personally think it's going to be the regular tag because it's about $15 million more to give the exclusive tag. And if you give the regular tag, if you lose Lamar, you're going to get 2 first-round draft picks. Considering you drafted him in the last spot of his draft, at number 32, business-wise, I'm going to say, okay, Lamar, we want you. You know we want you. Rumor is you want X amount of money guaranteed. Or it's no longer rumor because we're talking to each other. let's see. Here's our contract offer. You don't like it. You're free to negotiate with whoever you want. If you get what you want, we have opportunity to match it. If we can, without crippling the team, we'll match it. But see all those qualifiers I just put in there? That's the part that's kind of like the business part of this.
Well, business part of it, from what I hear, is that he was only offered 133 guaranteed.
Yes,
which is that is in my opinion extremely low ball for Lamar Jackson type of player. Now, as you know, I'm not a great fan of Lamar Jackson, but 133 guaranteed, that's low, man. Come on. That's an insult.
Well, how much is Pat guaranteed?
How much is Pat guaranteed?
Yeah.
At least 150 million. At least. I'm not exactly sure, but at least 150 million.
Out of $250 million, I believe you're close. I think it's like 180 or something like that.
Okay.
Over 10 years. Over 10 years.
Okay.
Which is a cap-friendly contract, so to speak, because you might be able to pull in the big names, but you still can afford some solid names.
But that was what, a year, at least a year or two ago?
2 years ago.
Two years ago. And
Yeah.
the price of guaranteed money for
Yes.
quarterback has skyrocketed.
And you know who I blame for that? You know who I blame for that?
D4.
No.
Cleveland
Nope.
Browns?
Huh?
The Cleveland Browns?
Not the Cleveland Browns.
Who you blame for?
You're going to be so surprised when I tell you
Who you
who
blame
I'm
for?
putting this blame on.
Kirk Cousins?
No.
Okay, who you blaming? Is Aaron Rodgers?
No. You ready?
Kyler Murray?
No.
Okay, I'm ready.
Baker Mayfield.
What?
That's what I'm putting this blame on.
Why? Explain, please.
Yes, I will explain. Deshaun Watson was not going to be headed to Cleveland. Deshaun Watson said, no, I don't like your offer. I don't want to do it. I'll deal with Carolina and Atlanta. The same week, Baker Mayfield did something stupid. And what did Cleveland do? Cleveland said, oh, we're not going to, nope, we don't want this guy. All right, Deshaun, we're going to guarantee all your money. Had Baker Mayfield not done what he did,
What do you do?
that week he acted a fool. He put the letter out.
Okay.
He put the letter out to Cleveland, thanking them for their services and or their kindness and whatnot. And Cleveland hadn't released him yet. But he knew it was coming. So thanks to Baker's letter to Cleveland, Deshaun Watson became the highest paid quarterback with the most guaranteed money ever in the NFL. All because of Baker. Now, you mentioned Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's contract is a very good contract, but it's not fully guaranteed. But Kyler Murray is a very good barometer for Lamar. Why? Lamar's gone to the playoffs 3 times, only won 1 game. Kyler's been to the playoffs 1 time, lost that game. Got his coach fired as well, but his coach is making hell of money because he just signed a new contract and they fired him the same year. So he's set. Lamar's not getting Harbaugh fired. He almost got him fired a couple years ago when they weren't doing well. But he did get Greg Roman fired. and a new offense has been installed. An offense that is not particularly run heavy or quarterback run heavy. This leads me to believe they're going to do the regular franchise tag. So therefore, they're prepared to let Lamar walk. Rashad Bateman, what happened this week? DaCosta is interviewed and says, he's missed on a lot of players around Lamar, so on and so forth. Rashad Bateman posts on his Twitter account, how about you stop blaming, and this is verbatim or paraphrasing, how about you stop blaming the receivers and number 8 and make sure we are healthy and can play. It was a little bit more than that, but Hollywood Brown took a screenshot of it before it got deleted off Twitter and said, let that man cook. So some people said Rashad Bateman, rookie receiver who didn't play a lot because of injury,
12 games.
Yet had no right to post that or say that in response to what DaCosta says. Now, to me, I understand both sides, but I agree with Bateman. This is why, and I'm asking your opinion. Bateman took it as, oh, you saying you drafted me and I didn't cut the mustard, so I'm a waste. You need to do better than me. You need to do better than Hollywood. Okay. Well, how about you do X, Y, and Z? On the same token, as a GM, I'm admitting that I didn't do as well of homework as I thought I did when I drafted said players. I'll put it this way. When Hollywood got back with Kyler in Arizona, it looked like they never got separated from when he was in OU. That was his receiver at OU.
Yeah, I know that.
Hollywood looked more like Hollywood as opposed to Bollywood when he was in Baltimore. Because he had a quarterback that would get him the ball. People like you, JT, and others who say, oh, he's a bum, he's a bust. It's not Lamar's. It looked like it was Lamar's fault. Because Kyler, in my opinion, doesn't have a stronger arm than Lamar, but makes better decisions and delivers a better ball than Lamar. Made Hollywood a Pro Bowler. Because didn't he go to the Pro Bowl this year? He did. He did.
Was he a first choice or was he a backup?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He might not have been, the first pick or whatever, but he was selected to go. And I would venture to say AFC has a slight edge at receiver than the NFC, but at the same time, Hollywood's numbers were better than a lot of the AFC guys. And that's even after DeAndre Hopkins came back. Speaking of which, DeAndre's looking like he's going to Cleveland to get back with his boy toy, or your boy toy, or the massager. That's the word. Cleveland is about to pony up some draft picks.
I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Okay. DeAndre Hopkins is possibly Cleveland. Him, Cooper, and Njoku, Chubb. Deshaun Watson has no reason not to succeed. Cleveland would have no reason not to succeed. That's just my opinion, if that were to happen. But let's get back to Lamar. Where does Lamar go? Where does he go, JT? Who do you think is going to make him an offer or what teams do you think are going to make him an offer
Who?
with the regular franchise tag on and willing to give up 2 picks? 2 first-round picks to start anyway.
Commanders for one.
Who?
The Commanders for one. And the maybe the Falcons.
I could definitely see the Falcons. Commanders probably not, because there are too many weapons on the outside. Even though they want to run heavy now, I would not want the Commanders to do that, but if they did it, they would. Because of the way Atlanta is built, I agree. Atlanta, to me, would be the perfect spot for him to land. Desmond Ridder, if they don't get him, because that means they missed out on Deshaun Watson, right? The year before, they got Mariota. Mariota's been cut. Lamar, in my opinion, for what they want to do, not saying Lamar's better than Deshaun, because I don't believe that overall. But for what Atlanta wants to do, Lamar's perfect. And I bet you, I guarantee you that old boy, the tight end, Pitts, all the way up. He would have the most targets per game. Now, I would wonder how that would affect Drake London. Because if I'm not mistaken, Baltimore doesn't have tall wide receivers. They don't have a 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver. They got a tight end that's that size, though. To me, Atlanta makes a perfect sense because he fits a system that they want to run. He'll get the ball to the tight end, and he'll throw the ball up to that tall-ass wide receiver.
Atlanta
That would be perfect.
Atlanta has the second most cap space in the NFL.
Can you speak into your mic?
I said Atlanta has the second most cap space this year.
Oh, perfect. How many draft picks they got? They only got 1 first rounder, right?
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that information right off the top of my head, but
Atlanta has a top 10 draft pick. But that doesn't mean they can't give a future first rounder. With that being the case, I'm like, how in the hell does Baltimore rebuild? And
well, they got a new offensive coordinator, so they can also rebuild with a different quarterback.
Correct. Now that's what I'm saying. If they get Atlanta's pick, which pick is Atlanta's in this year's draft? Do they go after either Stroud, Young, Levitt? And in my opinion, the best quarterback is Hendon Hooker. I know he's coming off the ACL thing, but Hendon Hooker had Tennessee poised on the precipice of going to the national championship game. In my opinion, Tennessee was the best team in college football last year when he was playing. Hendon Hooker is NFL ready. Your thoughts on that?
Atlanta has the 8th pick.
I said they had the top 10, yeah, so 8th pick. And they can always move up to get another Baltimore, that is, if they trade that pick. Baltimore can always move up with that pick and their later pick to get one of these quarterbacks. Or they can let Snoop Hundley stay at quarterback, draft Henderson Hooker, and let him get healed up and turn it over to him the following year. He has 1 year to heal and learn the new playbook. I'm just saying. What do you think about that?
You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know about that.
Okay, well, who do you think they would go after if they made that trade with Atlanta?
Ooh.
Do you think they're going for a quarterback in the first round, or are they going to try to wait and get a quarterback later? To me, I think Will Levis slides out of the first round.
I don't even think he slides out of the first 10. I think Will Levis is within the first 10 because he thought. I think Will Levis is within the first 10.
I like Duggan over Levis, and Duggan took his team, who was like 1-12 last year, to the national championship game this year, and proved how tough he was and a good arm. Now, he also proved that under pressure, he wasn't too hot.
There's a lot of pressure, especially from a 4-3-9 defensive lineman coming in.
Yeah, from Georgia. Hey, who wouldn't have that type of issue going against Georgia? But so you like Levis in the top 10?
Levis, I think, is going in the top 10.
You think he goes to the Raiders? If the Raiders don't get Young or Stroud?
Well, they may go for, I think he goes between the 10 and 18. Richardson.
The kid out of Florida?
Yeah.
You know what? I like him, but he's supposed to work out today too. He says he's going to do everything. But he's Dwayne Washington all over again, bro. Big guy. Well, his comparison, from what I've heard, his comparison is of Josh Allen when he first came out of Wyoming. Now, if he can get the same type of training that Josh got in year 2, awesome. But I got him 12 or 15 starts, whatever it is, 17 touchdowns and like 12 rushing touchdowns or something like that. Big body, big guy, strong arm, mobile. But is he ready to take over a franchise and be their savior this early? That would be my question on him. Now, Levis. Florida's in the SEC.
I thought Florida was in the ACC.
ACC? Okay, they're in the ACC. My bad. But Will Levis played in the SEC, which is pretty much, according to a lot of fans and a lot of analysts, the junior NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he performed miserably versus all the top teams. When they played Tennessee, oh my goodness, terrible. Hendon Hooker ripped up Kentucky's defense. Tennessee didn't have that great of a defense, but they intercepted the ball, I think, 3 or 4 times of Levis. Levis left Penn State to go be the quarterback at Kentucky. I think Levis needs to fall and go to a team that can develop him a little more and not throw him right out there in the fire. Richardson, somebody's going to take a big chance on him because they're going to see Cam Newton 2.0. That's what they're going to see. That's what they're going to see.
To me, that's a mistake.
I agree. But that's what they're going to see. I've seen some projections of him going to Washington. I'm like, no. We don't want another Dwayne Washington. Dwayne at least threw for 50 touchdowns. At least.
But this kid's 6'4", 236, and come on, man.
No, I get it. I get it, but I don't think he's ready to be an NFL quarterback and lead a team.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, and I'm going to put it as mildly as I can get. C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins, not Dwayne Washington. Thanks, Q.
C.J. Stroud is Bryce Young, 5'10" in the quarter, 5'10" and an eighth, 204 pounds. This kid's 6'4", 236. And they just don't feel like this kid is ready. Why? Let me put it this way. Why? This kid's got the measurables that you want in an NFL quarterback.
Okay.
So what makes these two smaller quarterbacks less than 6 feet and less than or around 200 pounds that much more effective than a guy that's 6'4" and 236?
What makes it more effective is their decision making, their play, right? How they performed under stress and in big games. That makes them better. So if we're going off of just the physical measurables, yeah, he dwarfs these quarterbacks. He dwarfs some receivers. He dwarfs some of these DNs too. But at the same time, Young and Stroud have played in games and in systems that require them to make way better decisions with their arm and head more so than their legs. Have they made plays with their legs? Yes. Yes, they have. But you can go back and say, like Dan was saying, the dual threat quarterback. If you're looking for a dual threat quarterback that you can develop, oh yeah. Guy from Florida, develop all the way because he's going to be your dual threat. He's as big as your running back and as strong as your running back. You know who's just the same size but can throw the ball better and make better decisions? Duggan. And again, Duggan just took his team to the national championship game after being like 1-12 the year before. I get it. Played in the Big 12. I get it. But you beat Oklahoma. You beat Oklahoma State. You beat K-State, which was also a very good team. Then you went out and you beat Michigan in your playoff game. Michigan, who was considered a top 2 team or was number 2 at the time when they played in the playoff and stayed in the top 5 all season.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question here. What was Pat Mahomes? And I'm not comparing him to Pat Mahomes, but I'm just asking, what was Pat Mahomes' record in college?
Oh, it wasn't that good. Texas Tech was not good at all.
His last year.
I don't know what it was his last year, but it still wasn't that good.
Okay.
But who did he go to? Yeah. Andy Reid, right? And we just talked about Andy Reid developing quarterbacks.
And what's to say that he doesn't go to that type of situation?
Well,
and doesn't play right away because
you got a quarterback right there like Alex Smith, who is a placeholder. Now, that can happen. That can happen, but where would that be? Again, if I'm in the first round and I got a plethora of great talent on the defensive side of the ball, we just talked about this. We just talked about the offense this year, in my opinion, is a step or two behind the defense in the draft and in the combine. I know it's shorts and t-shirts, but to me,
I have the perfect. I wouldn't say the perfect, but I have a good team for him to go to.
Go ahead.
Tennessee.
Okay. So you're giving them Malik Hooker already?
Yes, because obviously what he showed last season was not anywhere close to being an NFL ready quarterback. Not
Well,
even-
okay, but that doesn't
not
mean they
even
can't
close.
develop them. And
That's a
Q
lot.
says,
That's
really,
a lot. That's a lot of development. A lot.
Okay. And that's why I think the same thing I think will be needed for excuse me, the kid out of Florida. Now, Q says Duggan, Tebow was a good college quarterback, so on and so forth. The difference between Tebow and Duggan,
Tebow
ran the ball more.
Tebow didn't have a good arm.
No. Tebow ran the ball.
Yeah. That was his forte.
That
He was inaccurate throwing the football. He
Yes.
was horrible. He was horrible.
So with Tebow, Q, and you need to be on the show. You're probably driving and working. I love you, brother. I did send you the invite. If you're going to compare Tebow to what's his name, Johnson, that's a good comparison because they both went to Florida. They both played the same. Tebow took his team to a national championship game a couple of times and won.
He had a better team.
Yeah, had a better team. He had better players around him.
Yep.
This kid in Florida, he's not ready. I personally, if I were him, I understand he probably has, obligations, and people told him in his ear, hey, look, you're going to be a first-round pick. Your side, just like you said, Jerry, you said his measurables are this. Why is he not better than them? That's what he's hearing. 15 games this guy played.
He can go to Detroit behind golf. Absolutely.
But they already got somebody behind golf. You know who? Corral, if I'm not mistaken.
Corral is in
Corral was in Carolina.
Yeah.
But Detroit drafted the other quarterback. I can't remember who it is, but it was another good quarterback.
He can go to
And
Tampa
sit
Bay.
right there.
He can go to Tampa Bay.
Now that would work because they can see if Trask, another Florida quarterback,
Right.
is worth it, and then turn to the other quarterback from Florida that ain't ready yet either. Go ahead, I'm waiting.
I gave you 3 teams. How many more you want me to give you?
No, I'm just saying, I don't think he should go anywhere.
Well,
I think he should stay in college.
You asked me what teams.
I know.
And
I know.
you're asking for more. How far you want me to go?
Until you find a suitable team.
Unless a team, no. Until I find a team that you can dispute. That's what you're waiting for.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I would say this. Atlanta would be the place for him if Greg Roman was still there. Right? But Greg Roman isn't there. Why would I say that? Because it'll be a bigger, stronger Lamar Jackson running the same offense who would not get hurt as easily.
I think people are underrating this guy. I really do. Just like they underrated Pat Mahomes. And I'm not calling Pat Mahomes, but I'm calling something in that same frame that I think they're underrating this kid. He's played 3 seasons. Granted, he didn't play a lot in the first season, but he played decent games in the second and third season. And Florida is in the SEC. Okay, he was an all SEC player.
Okay.
So I think they're underrating this kid. Okay, and he's going to be coming on with a huge chip on his shoulder. Because the fact is, they got C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis. And you just said Will Levis didn't show you all that.
And I also said Hendon Hooker, in my opinion, is better than all of them.
Okay, no problem.
And I think Hendon Hooker, if not for that ACL tear, he would have won the Heisman. No way Stetson Bennett
This kid
goes to the Heisman
I like
Heisman
I like
competition
Wow.
if Hendon Hooker stays healthy. What are you wilding about now?
Bryce Wheaton.
I just saw it. It wasn't that great.
Okay. You're not have different eyes, but in different opinions. That's fine.
Oh, you're the one with glasses, so you know.
That doesn't make a difference. I'm still seeing through eyes just like you. I just have a little bit more help. That's all.
Yeah, and you got cataract and all that.
I don't no. Don't disparage being older. Okay.
No, I'm not, brother. You know I love you. You know I love you.
Okay. That's why you say I got cataracts, which I don't. And cataracts are an older type of person. So what are you saying?
I mean, you are rather old.
I am. I'm older, but I don't have cataracts. I have two eyes and two.
No, you got 4 eyes. 4 eyes. Get it right. You got 4.
I have 2 eyes and a pair of glasses to help my 2 eyes.
Can you talk in the mic so people can hear you?
You can't hear me?
Now.
Okay. I have 2 eyes.
And 2 assistant eyes.
And 2 assistant eyes, yes. which equate 2 and 2 equals 4. Okay, I got 4 eyes. Okay?
Exactly.
Does that make you happy now?
Yes.
Oh, God. You know.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell Jerry right now, I'm ready to buy my team for Vegas. Outright.
Okay.
So go ahead and put your deposit down on your team so I can go ahead and buy the second team outright.
What, you feeling froggy?
Oh, I'm leaping like a mofo, bro.
Okay. Whatever.
Q, get your money. Get your money, Slim.
Well, next week we'll work that because that's what I plan to do. Put my deposit down next week.
Soon as you put your deposit down, let me know so we can I'll go ahead and buy mine straight.
Okay.
And or you know what I'll do? I'll put half on it and then I'll put the other half later on. That way I don't have to.
Can you do it logging in on your own, or do you have to do it through me?
I do it through you.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, these receivers are dropping balls during the gauntlet.
That's why I like
slow.
That's who I like because he was solid in catching the football and with his hands, not in his body.
Not a body catch. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But I can't wait to see the second group because Jerry's favorite new boy toy, Man Crush, from Florida is supposed to run and throw in the second group.
And I won't get a chance to see it because I'm headed. As soon as we finish this, I'm out.
Okay, well, hey, look, I'm willing to send you a little bit of something so you can take care of a little something. Because I know where you going. I know exactly where you going. Hey, and one of these apps I got, they got the horsies on it. Just to let you know, they got the horsies on it.
Okay.
And the person that hosts it is in your neck of the woods too. Just putting it out there.
Really? Okay. Whatever.
I'm telling you, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Do I want to tell Jerry? Jerry never joins nothing anyway. But if I tell Jerry about this, he's going to join. I know he is.
Maybe not. All coordinated.
Well, I'll tell you the particulars once we get off.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna stick around and watch the second group of quarterbacks and receivers. Hopefully, the second group is better than the first group because this first group is lackluster in my opinion. It was good run time 4.37 out of kid from TCU, but he's light. He's light.
I like tall receivers that can run. I like tall receivers that can run. Short receivers, I don't have any use for.
And this dude looks like Tyreek Hill right now, but he's catching the ball like a mofo. Darius Davis, he catching it. he looks like Tyreek Hill in the face and in the body shape too. And if you recall, Tyreek Hill was drafted as a running back, not a wide receiver. So maybe this kid gets a little run at running back and they shift him over to a wide receiver. Kenneth Gainwell is like $160, $170, and he runs hard as I don't know what out the backfield. So you never know. You never know, JT. With that being said, promo and master plan for tomorrow, please.
Running backs. I'm talking about running backs, and they're going to be on showcase tomorrow on NFL Combine, which is just in my wheelhouse. I'm going to love this. I'm going to sit back and watch every one of these running backs. I'm looking forward to Mr. Charbonnet. I'm looking forward to B. John Johnson. I'm looking forward to some other ones that I will name tomorrow on a master plan, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Jerry Taylor presents the master plan. Be there. Be there.
Yes, it is. And Eastern time is what time? Pacific time is what time?
10 a.m. Eastern time. Jesus Christ. 7 a.m. Pacific time.
All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for listening to us and watching us and participating. Our boy Q is on the road working. Got to make those donuts. And listen, be kind, rewind. Life is short. And I'm trying my very best to continue to turn the other cheek when I'm getting slapped around a little bit. But I'm running out of cheeks, people. I'm running out of cheeks.
That may happen a lot.
Really?
Hey. Sergeant First Class.
Yeah, man. So, well, with that means, before I get out of here, I'm gonna give you a quick story, JT.
Okay. Here we go.
Well, this is public, so I ain't gonna get too into it.
Okay.
You know, I've been in Sergeant First Class for a very long time.
Yeah, I know that.
That hurts my feelings, but taking my emotion out of it, it's wrong based upon the things I've been able to do. But I'm coming up on retirement, and I just saw a great deal of my peers and people that are above me that are going to retire. A great deal. And you've been in the military, and anybody that's been in the military, you know that when it's coming time for you to retire, that's when the military wants to promote you or give you opportunities that you've been working so hard for over the past 18, 19 years. I'll be honest with you guys. The wife said no. She's done. So am I. The only way I'm going to accept any promotion or any move is if it's somewhere we really, really, really want to go. And I don't think that's going to be open. So I got 1 year left in the military to hit my 20, and I'm going to be on the open market. So if you need a broadcaster, public affairs or public relations individual that does crisis messaging or strategic crisis management or things of that nature with oodles of experience, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. Now, I still got to do my podcast, though. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this for too long to give it up. When JT, God forbid, no time soon, gets his wings or his pitchfork, that's when I'll probably end it. I knew that'll get your attention. I love you, brother. I love you. I love you.
I didn't get my attention. I was listening the whole time. And then with that, really?
I said, when and if No time soon. I
Hopefully
said that as well.
soon. It could happen any day.
Well,
But-
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. But that's when I'll stop my podcast probably because I'll be too distraught. And then I'll probably pick it up in another month after he's gone or something like that. But you know, I gotta grieve. I gotta grieve.
Unbelievable.
But that's it, y'all. It will no longer be Sergeant First Class or anything like that. Now you could call me master because I have my master's degree though, so I'll be the true master of the two. Just gonna put it out there. Yeah, I think I'm doing my Marshawn Lynch, throwing my cleats on the or my boots on the telephone line when I do retire. You got a Super Bowl trophy? I can't read what's on it. Okay, you remember you have a background that blends everything you have holding up in. So you're going to have to read. I see a trophy, JT, but you have to read what it is because it blends in with the background. This is what I deal with, y'all. This is what I deal with.
That is a trophy that's dedicated to my younger brother who passed away at a tender age of 15.
Ooh.
Tender age. He would happen to be a quarterback, a dual threat quarterback at that. Freshman, starting varsity quarterback, had a promising career ahead of him. That's named after my brother. 3-time fantasy football family championship. 3-time.
Okay, I mean, since you're the best in your family and I'm better than you, that means I'm better than your family.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
But
don't even go there.
You won't let me back in. You won't let me back in the family.
Well, let me put it this way, Mr. FSP. There's only 10. We had 14 members 2 years ago, and they dropped out in COVID. They dropped out. 4 of them dropped out. So we had 10. And we missed a year because of COVID. And this is the second year back from COVID, and we still only have 10. So I can't let you in at the 11th person unless I get another person at number 12.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So don't say I won't let you in.
I just get a 12th. Get a distant cousin. Get somebody else you love as much as me.
I don't know if I can do that.
I'm practically family, pimp. I
Okay.
am practically family.
All right.
Okay. That's how you treat me. I see how you treat me.
Well, I got to go.
I know you got to go.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, hey, let me know if you really going to hit
I'm
that.
going to do that. Next week, I'm going to do it.
No, I'm talking about what you're about to go do now. So I can send you something.
Okay.
But if you don't want me to send you anything, it's all good. I understand.
You know, I haven't gotten a lay of the land because they do different things. They do things different.
Yeah. I know.
Where I'm at. So,
all right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank y'all for listening to Fantasy Sports and Politics. JT, let me know if you want me to tell you about if someone's going to tell you offline. Crap.
What?
Oh, about the app. About the app.
Oh boy, you get.
Let me know if you want to know about that. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us and watching us. And we'll see you back next week because you've been listening to
Fantasy Sports and Politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember,
face.
because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
The other dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Eric's going to get him.
Fantasy Sports and Politics. Fantasy Sports and Politics. Fantasy Sports and Politics. Fantasy Sports and Politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?